Number representation. Number representation. Okay, what am I talking about there? Let's just write down a number. 1.4. Well, I can also write that number as a fraction. 7/5. We'll talk about how I do that in 1 minute. That fraction can also be written as another type of fraction called a mixed number. That could also be written as a percentage. And lastly, can be written in scientific notation. Let's write those down. What were all those things? Well, we had a decimal. We had fractions. Percentage. TIF. Notation. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's talk about some of these. Well, this is a rational number because it can be represented by a fraction. How can you check if it's a rational number? Well, you have to check if any terminating decimal is a rational number. That's one thing we'll start off with. Sometimes you have to check very far to see if a number does repeat itself. That's what's amazing about irrational numbers, is that they never repeat themselves. This one is a terminating decimal, so I can write this as 14 divided by 10. Right? Let's multiply it by 10 and divided by 14. So there's my fraction. And then I can reduce this fraction down. We'll learn about all this stuff later. 7/5. And that can be written as 5 plus 2/5, which can be broken down into 5/5 plus 2/5, which can be written as 1 plus 2/5, which can be just, if you have that plus sign there, it can be written as 1 2/5. Okay, so changing from decimal into improper fraction or a mixed number, this is a whole number. This is a proper fraction. And this one is a mixed number. The difference between improper and proper fractions is that the numerator is larger than the denominator in an improper fraction, whereas if by taking out this whole number, then you're left with a proper fraction where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Percentages work in the same kind of way. You just have to multiply any number you have by 100, and that will give you the percent. But you have to include the percent sign now. So if I have a number that is 10%, I know that that number in decimal form is, I'll have to divide it by 100, will be 0.1. Scientific notation writes down every number in the very similar format, in the exact same format. And that format is this. You always have to have one single integer. decimal point, woo, rest of the number, and then times 10 to the power of something to make it work. Okay? In this case, I had to go to the power of 0. 10 to the power of 0 is 1, and 1.4 times 1 gives me 1.4. So that's what I had to write down. But I had to write it down because they have to always look like this. That's scientific notation.